My name's Jodie, and this year my boyfriend made me a book advent calendar. I'm so excited to get started on opening all of these. And I figured that this year I would document it. So I'm going to be opening one every day of December. You know how advent calendars work. And sort of filming a little mini segment on each one, and then I'll put them all together at the end into a long video so you can just watch 25 days worth of books. Let's go. Okay, I've just opened book 1, and it is The Ministry of Lesbian Affairs by Iman Qureshi. This is a play about a amateur lesbian choir trying to book a slot to sing on the main stage at Pride. It sounds really funny, and I've been wanting to read more plays this year, so this is a good start. This is day 2 of the book advent calendar, and today's book is The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. I've read a few Dickens novels. I've read David Copperfield, Oliver Twist, and The Old Curiosity Shop. But I've wanted to read this one for a while because it was his first novel, and also it's often described as his funniest. So I might start this one right now. Day 3 of the book advent, and we have Murder, a biography by Kate Morgan. An objectively funny book to get from your romantic partner. But apparently it goes into some of the historical murders that then form the basis for a lot of laws that we have today. So it actually sounds very interesting. Day 4 of book advent, and we have Four Treasures of the Sky by Jenny Tingqi Zhong. That's how Google told me to pronounce that. I'm so sorry if I just butchered it. This is a book about a young Chinese woman who is kidnapped and smuggled from China to America. This book has not crossed my radar at all this year. So this was like a real wild card to come across, but it sounds really good. So I'm looking forward to it. Hi, we are on day 5 of the book advent calendar. I have a rosemary oil hair mask in, which is why my hair looks like this. And I just unwrapped Life Ceremony by Sayaka Murata. This author is the connoisseur of weird girl lit. If you're a weird girl, if you like weird books, check her out. This is her collection of short stories, but all of her books are just amazing. Day 6 of the book advent calendar. And today we have Liar Mouth by John Waters. This is another book that I personally haven't heard of, but it describes itself as a feel-bad romance, which I'm obsessed with that description. So this might get bumped up my TBR. Day 7 of the book advent calendar, and today we have Medusa by Jessie Burton. Now, if there's one thing about me, it's that I am gonna read a Medusa retelling. You can package it any way you want. I think you can take her story in so many different interesting ways. I love it. I read Stone Blind last year, which is another Medusa retelling, and I didn't love it. So I'm hoping I'm gonna enjoy this one more. Day 8 of the book advent calendar. I actually wanted to show myself unwrapping this one because look at this wrapping. Oh, it's Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I personally am a huge Jane Eyre fan. It's one of my favourite books of all time, but I've never read any of Charlotte Bronte's other books. I don't know how many she wrote. Strong day. Day 9, it's a good one. It's Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I love the Jurassic Park films, and I've been saying that I need to buy the book and read the book for about 5 years. So I am so happy this turned up. Day 10 of the book advent calendar, and today we have I, an Actor. So this is, bear with me, this is a fictionalized memoir of a British actor. So the character whose point of view the memoir is written from is called Nicholas Craig. I'm an actor myself, so I always find it very funny when people take the piss out of the pretensions of, especially the kind of older generation of like British thespians. And it seems like it's going to be very funny. Day 11. And we have We All Want Impossible Things by Catherine Newman. I remember pointing this out to my boyfriend in a bookshop. I think maybe 60% of why I thought it looked so good was how delicious this piece of lemon pie looked. But this is about two childhood best friends and what happens when one of them gets diagnosed with terminal cancer. So this definitely seems like one that will probably make me cry. Day 12, and today we have Where Angels Fear to Tread by A.M. Forrester. It is about an English widow who travels to Italy and marries a dashing and highly unsuitable Italian. Basically the eat, pray, love of its time. I love books set in Italy, and I love books about stuffy English people learning to have a zest for life. So wins all round. Day 13 of Book Advent. It's The Vigilante by John Steinbeck. It's 3 short stories, very short stories, set in California. I don't know anything about John Steinbeck's writing. I don't think I've read anything by him before, but look how little and cute this book is. Day 14 of Book Advent, and we have Trumpet by Jackie Kay. Apparently is about a jazz trumpeter who is a woman who has been living as a man all her life and has been keeping a secret from everyone in her life, including her adopted son. And apparently it's based on real life events. Day 15 of the Book Advent, and we have To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara. I have mixed feelings on A Little Life, which I have read, in that I think it was beautifully written and I think the characters were like really, really beautifully drawn. But obviously it is like relentlessly miserable in a way that I know a lot of people found kind of egregious and almost a bit voyeuristic, especially in terms of it being about the suffering of queer men written by a straight woman. So I am interested to see if this sort of follows the same patterns. I'd also be interested in hearing anyone else's thoughts. If anyone else has read this and has thoughts on it, then leave me a comment, let me know. Day 16. This might be one of my favorites so far. It's a spooky, cute and comfy coloring book. It's just got like loads of cute illustrations of like ghosts and pumpkins, and you can just color them in. This is so cute. Day 17 of Book Advent, and today we have Bluebeard's Castle by Anna Biller. Honestly, judging by this front cover, this is either like a really great gothic retelling of the fairy tale, or it's a Harlequin romance. I'm excited to read it either way. Day 18, we have officially only got 1 week left of the Book Advent calendar. And today's book is Ambush at Still Lake, which is a poetry collection by Caroline Bird. I love poetry. I am a certified poetry girly. I haven't heard of Caroline Bird, but I'm always excited to read new poets. And this collection is described as bleak, repellent, and hilarious in an American Psycho-ish way. Which is like, babe, say less. I'm sold. Day 19, and we have Filthy Rich Vampires, Second Rights by Geneva Lee. This is the second in the series. I found the first one, which is just called Filthy Rich Vampires, in the works. And I picked it up and saw that it was pitched as Bridgerton with vampires. And I bought it immediately with no further questions. I haven't actually gotten around to reading it yet, but it is good to know that I've got the second one on hand, ready to go when I do. Day 20. This is going to have to be a super quick one because I'm packing to go back to my parents for Christmas. But it's The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I have never read this book, but I have seen the film Easy A, which I love. So I assume I'm going to love this as well. This is days 21 and 22. I was travelling home for Christmas yesterday, so I didn't get to unwrap yesterday's book. But I made it home. This is a nightmare of unpacking and wrapping Christmas presents, so just ignore this. So I just opened yesterday's book and today's book, and yesterday's book was Cult Trip by Anke Richter. I'm obsessed with cults. I find them so interesting, and I'm constantly like listening to podcasts and watching documentaries about them. So I'm really excited to read this one. And then today's, the 22nd, was Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I read Ghosts by her. I loved it. I think she writes so beautifully about the ways that like relationships and friendships change once you get into your like 30s and beyond. It's really poignant, and I've been wanting to read this one for a while, so this was a great double bill to open. Day 23, Merry Christmas Eve Eve, and today's book is The Perfect Girlfriend by Karen Hamilton. This is a thriller about a girl who her boyfriend breaks up with her and she gets a job as a flight attendant at his airline to try and win him back. I do enjoy a good thriller. I get through them quite quickly. So I feel like this will be one that I just read over like 2 days on a particularly quiet weekend. Happy Christmas Eve. It's day 24 of the book Advent Calendar. And we have A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I have read the first two in the ACOTAR series. I know this is a very unpopular opinion. I actually really enjoyed the first one and then got really bored in the second one. I know that Reese is the internet's very special boy, but the second one just wasn't really doing it for me. But I have been thinking that at some point I would read the third and catch up. And then I have this, I know this is a little sort of like mini story set at the winter solstice, so then I can get onto this one. It's Christmas Day. I'm dressed as an elf because my nephew is around, but I thought I'd just quickly pop on and show you day 25, the last day of the book Advent Calendar, and it's A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. I got The Priory of the Orange Tree as one of my books in last year's Advent Calendar, and I loved it. It was one of those books that took me ages to actually pick it up and start reading it because it was such a brick that I thought it was going to take me forever. But once I started it, I finished it in like 10 days because it was one of those books where like every spare second I had, I was picking it up and like reading a few more pages. So I know this is a prequel. It's just as much of a brick, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. And that officially concludes the book Advent Calendar for 2024. Thank you for watching if you've watched all 25 books. If you've enjoyed it, I would love it if you could give this video a like and maybe subscribe to my channel. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.